Good. This is Marcus the Fingaz, back at it again. What I want to do is create a hip hop type track in the style of Griselda Records rappers, Benny, Conway, West Side Gun, incredible rappers. Had a great year releasing projects. It seemed like every week. And their music has been so inspiring. I just listened to a bunch of records this past week. That to me is just bringing back that soulful hip hop. So what I want to do is create something that I think would they would appreciate, and try to make it real fast. Not think about it too much. So here I am in Beatmaker 3. I'm just gonna load up. I have a preset drum bank here. What I like is that I have my audio effects already on there. So I have FAC transient. This is on all my drum tracks that I use in Beatmaker 3. I have FAC maxima and then low fly dirt for a little bit of grit. So but what I've been mainly focusing on with making this type of music is the llmind kits. They just have that grit that I need. Let's go to just a random number. We'll go to number 7 here. Listen to some sounds. Just want to find a kick, like that one, and then want to find a snare. I like that one, maybe that one, and I want to find a clap here, and then a hi-hat, maybe 2 hats. I like that. Let's go with that. BPM, I'll probably do this one around let's make it around 180. It'll probably feel like 90, but 180. Actually, I want to slow it down a little bit, so let's try 170. Let's go with that. All right, we're just going to put down a pattern here. So that's the basic pattern. You see I changed up the drums a little bit I think it was 8 or 16 bars, just to add some variation there. I'll probably play with that a little bit later. I want to add some hats here. What I like to do with the hats is this velocity icon down here. It's a little gear at the bottom left. Right now, if I touch a pad, the velocity stays the same. So it's the same volume. I like to go to this pads Y velocity and turn that on. And what that means is where I hit the pad, if I hit it up high, it'll sound louder. If I hit it low, it'll be quieter. So where I hit the pad actually is the volume. You can also do it on the left here, where it says trigger. But I like to hit the pads, and we'll come up with a pattern. I think I have 2 hats, so what I'm going to do is pan one slightly left, and the other one slightly right, and then turn this other one down. It's kind of loud. Actually, what I wanted to do was turn the volume down, but I like the pitch down now. So let's see. We'll add something to that. Let's see. Here we go. So you heard I changed the hi-hat pattern a little bit there just to add some variation. I'll leave that as it is for now. So what I like to do making this type of music is I have a bunch of samples. I can also create samples, play the keys, but for this one, I just want to make something real quick. I've been using this llmind sample kit down here at the bottom called the Shaolin Story Samples. I think it's volume 2. And I've just been going down the line here, just chopping up samples from all these dope sounds. And he has the stems, but I usually just like to take the stereo wave file. So this is called Caves of the Shao. I haven't listened to it, so I don't know what it sounds like. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it in. I think I like to label it so I know what it is. When I export it, llmind, Shaolin, there we go. So that's that. I haven't heard the sample. I know the BPM is 150 because it says it there in the name of the file. So I'm going to change this to 150. And then I'm going to stretch it because you see that my tempo for this track is 170. Before I do that, let me hear how it sounds. All right, I think it's gonna be dope. So I'm already gonna start slicing. I like to use the auto slice, so I usually split it to either 16 or 32. I'm gonna leave this at 16. With this one, I hear a little clipping when I first hit the note. So what I want to do is bring the attack up to 1 or just under 1 millisecond, and then that clipping goes away. And then I also like to filter some of the low end out. And then I also don't like, depending on the sample, it depends on the mood I'm in. I don't like to keep the sample in the same key, so I want to lower this to make it kind of gritty. Slice that, add that to the pad, so it'll be spread across 16 pads. I still have that velocity layer on from the hi-hats, but I want to turn that off now because I want the velocity of each pad to be the same. I also like to add effects at this point to the pad, and I have some go-to effects. So what I think I'm going to add is some low-fly dirt, just to add some grit to it. So you hear it's adding some high like overtones, SP1200 type. I could do 8-bit. That's a little bit more extreme. I think I'm gonna go with the 1200 there. Just a little bit. And then I want to add a little bit of delay. One of my favorite delays is this Modly from Clevgrand here. I could do this as a send effect, but I like to just throw it on the track. And most of these presets are good. I usually go to like instrument, either one of those synth leads or effects, those tape delays there. Those are some of my favorites. I'll go synth lead 2. Bring the master down. Let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to bring the master down to maybe, let's say, 10-ish%. Let's bring it on there. So let's add a filter. Yeah, so we'll go with that. So you hear, again, nothing's being quantized right now, so everything is off the grid, kind of loose. Sometimes it pushes the beat, sometimes it's behind the beat, but I like that kind of feel. So I'm going to stick with that. I actually like the chops I have, so what I'm going to do is trim each one. It does save a little bit of space on the iPad. All right, so I trimmed each one. The track, I mean, is basically almost done. You know, it's basically making itself. At this point, I like to use a bass. I'm going to add a bass, even though the sample does have some bass sounds in there. I like this Bassalicious app. What I like to add on my bass is, I should save this as a bank. That way it automatically loads up. But I like this Go-To EQ by Clevgrand. I like this Good Start preset. And then I like to bring that into low-fly dirt again, and just bring that up a little bit on the default mode there. And then I'm going to find a bass sound. Let's see. Typical electric bass sound. Sometimes I try to get away from these and go with more of the synthy sound, but for this track, I'll probably go with electric bass. I like that. We'll find the key of this. So I am a musician, so I can sort of tell that it sounds like to me that this is in the key of F minor. So we're going to choose minor, one of these minors. So what I like to do, I don't have a keyboard in front of me right now, so with the pads is, if you play with 2 hands, you can get some really dope bass riffs and things going. So we'll mess around. So that's basically it. And then what I like to do is on my main out is throw a this app called Bark Filter by Versin, and this preset triple band, which sort of brings everything out a little bit. I throw my tag in there.
The Fingaz on the beat.
Just so people know who made the music.
The Fingaz on the beat.
And that pretty much does it. So I'll play it through one time so you guys can get an idea. I'll do some editing, some dropouts and things. I may actually add some sounds to it. I got to listen to it a couple times. But yeah, let me add some stuff to it. I'll come back, play the final result for you guys, and we'll go from there.
The Fingaz on the beat.
So that's it. Thank you guys for checking this out. I hope to do more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Thanks.